Bolts Nation, welcome back to another episode of the Bolts Block Party. I am your host, Greg Wolf, joined by my buddy, my co-host, Braydon Coburn, and we are excited to have this gentleman here with us on the show today, Jonas Johansson, powered by our friends at Highlight IPA. We thank you for taking the time out of your very busy new dad schedule to be here with us. Actually, you were booked on the show a couple weeks ago, and we had to reschedule because you found out you were going to have a baby. So that's a valid excuse. So we're going to let you slide on that one. Have you gotten any sleep? And congratulations, by the way. Have you gotten some sleep as a new dad?
It's been a lot of changes for sure, but she's actually sleeping pretty well. So it's a little different, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Sure.
Honestly.
How has dad life changed you already? I know it's pretty remarkable to bring a life into the world, but how has it changed you as a person already?
I feel like you don't really know what to expect when you go into a day like that, the day she was born, but right away, like your emotions take over. I'm usually not that an emotional guy, but it gets you real deep, and you feel like you get a little perspective of what's really important in life, so it's a huge experience for all of us.
Cleaning diapers, you know all about that.
I do. That's it's really cool, and the moms, they do a lot of heavy lifting, which is amazing because we are so busy and we are gone, and so they end up really shouldering a big time load for the guys. I know that all the hockey wives out there, they're the kind of hidden heroes behind the scenes.
For sure.
But I wanted to ask you about how does this, like, when you come home now and let's say you had a day at the rink or whatever's going on, does that change your attitude? Like I find with myself, and I'll kind of give you an example. I used to kind of bring work home with me. When I would come home and I had a bad game, I would be stomping around the house and slamming doors and kind of being in a pissy mood, right? When you have kids, I feel like that changes because when you come in, you see them, it's just like that kind of melts away and you kind of refocus. Have you found that at all?
It's when you come home and you see that little face, it's hard to not get in a good mood, And
his face lights up. I love that.
I talked to Hedy about that too after the Florida game. Yeah. Like a rough night, but her kids was at the warm up and like, they don't even know what's going on. They're excited when I come home either way. So it's it's kind of, like I said, the perspective thing. You get home and you see their little faces, and so I'm gonna experience more of that now, I guess, as she grows older and she actually can engage a little bit. Get some. She sees me and she smiles. Right now she's not
she's
doing
just in
a lot.
Eat, sleep,
exactly.
Poop phase, right?
So now it's just me seeing her that makes me happy. But when she gets older and you engage a little bit with her and you start to play with her, I think that will increase even more.
I don't know if this is true, and I don't know if your parents were like this, but I heard a rumor like in Scandinavia, a lot of the moms, they'll have the babies in the strollers and they'll just leave them outside the coffee shop, and it could be winter outside.
What?
And the babies build up their immune system. I don't know. Is that true?
Yeah, they do. I wasn't too into it before because I didn't know anything about it because we weren't having any kids. But I know last summer when I was home, I had a friend over who just had a baby, and they just left the baby sleeping in the stroller outside, like on our patio, and we were just chatting inside. The baby's
bundled up for everybody out there. Just leaving him out there with no blankets. Obviously.
We went out and checked on him, and he was lights out. He was just sleeping.
I mean, they tell you to sleep in cooler temps anyways because it helps your body for rest and recovery. But you're saying put them out there to let their bodies get adjusted to
if you're walking down the street by Starbucks and you see a kid, might be baby Johansson outside Starbucks.
Just hanging out outside, getting used to the temps, man. Yeah. That's pretty remarkable stuff. I didn't know about that particular method. Anyways, let's talk hockey. Your NHL debut was literally 4 months ago this month back in Buffalo. So congratulations on that milestone. I don't know if you remember that. It was February 2020 back in Buffalo. So 4 years ago this month, your NHL debut. So talk to us a little bit about, the journey for you and the passion and where your love for goaltending came into play. Some of your favorites maybe growing up, who you love to watch and who you wanted to emulate. But we've talked about it before about starting at a young age with goaltending and how because of the gear and you want to look cool. But for you, was that the path, from the beginning, or did you develop as, a skater and a forward or a different player and eventually migrated over to goaltending? How did that journey start for you?
No, as much as I can remember, I always wanted to play goal if I had a chance.
Okay.
If we would play at school between classes, I would want to play goalie, and probably a lot of it was because of the gear, because that was a big thing, that was cool.
Sure.
So, and even in your team, when you were skating as in your hockey team, you took turns playing goalie, and you play like across the ice. You played 3 games at the same time, 1 in each zone, and you kind of took turns. But if no one wanted to play, I would love to play. I wanted to be the goalie all the time. So that's as much as I can remember from that.
Okay,
I don't know.
so it wasn't necessarily...
Did it come from your parents? Was
Yeah,
your dad a goalie, or did anyone play hockey?
My dad was a forward, like a gritty power forward in the Swedish league.
Okay.
But no, I don't know. I liked the goalie masks. They were pretty cool, and I think I remember I got like a glove and blocker when I was a kid from like used old hockey gear. There was the old leather,
Yes.
old school leather glove and blocker, and I got them from a friend of dad or something. And maybe that was like it just clicked for me, like, oh, this is the stuff. This is what I want to be.
What age was that? Around what age? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember. Probably like 6, 7, 8,
Okay,
maybe.
so real young.
Yeah, I want to say it was young. Yeah.
Your parents must have been like, "Oh boy, here we go, goalie equipment. It's the
Yeah,
most expensive part of the game."
My dad was always joking. He wasn't a good shooter enough to get me out of the net. He didn't shoot hard enough. So
Didn't scare you
enough.
Yeah, he didn't
Right.
scare
Scare
me
you.
enough. So.
So you played in the ECHL, you played in the AHL, you were selected by the Sabres in the 3rd round, 61st overall at the 2014 NHL entry draft. Do you remember those days vividly? Do they come back to you when you think about them?
Yeah.
Or is it a blur? Like it all happened so fast for you?
No, my draft day, I was actually, we were on a fishing trip, me and a friend and my dad and his dad. And we knew it might happen. So we stayed in the cabin, like there was barely phone reception.
Wow.
We were like
Keep
refreshing the phones, and like all of a sudden I got a phone call and I was picked. So that was a crazy memory. I'll never forget that. And then to get to North America was a pretty rough and long path. It's been all throughout my career, it's been a lot of ups and downs. It's never been a given to like, you're going to be playing a lot of games. We're going to go with you, It's always been a bumpy road for me. Played in the 2nd league in Sweden on a loan for 2 years. Signed my entry level, got sent down to the coast 2 years in a row. And just, I don't know, I grinded through it, but it was fun. Like now when you look back at it, you're proud that you took that route, It like you've seen those the teams you played in the coast and like the locker rooms, the bus travel is like it gives you perspective to how we do stuff now in the Lightning and in the NHL, and you're like, oh, this is pretty nice to be here.
Playing in the East Coast is remarkably different than playing in the NHL. The East Coast is called the jungle for a reason. It's a great league, and it's a great opportunity for guys to develop. And oddly enough, it seems like goalies really seem to come out of the East Coast. And I think that's because, when you're developing and you're a prospect in an organization, you might not necessarily want to be the backup in the American League team. You'd rather be the starter in the East Coast League, and you get the games,
sure,
you get the opportunity to develop. And some of the places you've been, Cincinnati, Rochester, Charlotte, Colorado Eagles, those are opportunities for you to grow, and I'm sure you learned things along the way.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask kind of about coming over from Europe. And I know as a player, when I would play on the Olympic size ice, the bigger size ice, and I'm assuming that some of your games in Sweden were on the Olympic size ice, and now you come to the North American, the NHL size rink. It's different for a player because there's so much more room to cover. But I wanted to ask about goaltending. Is that different as a goalie, adjusting to the ice size from the North American to the Olympic size?
Yeah, I remember my first game, I think it was in Binghamton, and that's a really small rink.
Bingo,
so I was like,
it's an old barn.
I stepped out there and like, oh, like the corners are so close. So I want to say the biggest difference that I realized was if the players, like they're in the corner or has their back against the boards and they take 2 strides, they're in a great scoring chance opportunity. In Sweden, there's like if you're in the corner, like the play can really get stuck.
Send a postcard. I'll be there.
Kind of, yeah. But here everything can happen so quickly. Like someone get out of a scrum in the corner, and there's a scoring chance out of nothing. So it's
a big adjustment, right?
Yeah,
it's an adjustment.
You just gotta be ready more, I guess, or like always be on your toes, because something can be created out of nothing, kind of.
What about playing the puck? Is that different in the European game as opposed to the NHL game?
I didn't play the puck a lot in Sweden. We didn't do it as much, and that's something I had to develop since I came over here. And I think I've been increasingly getting better at it, getting more comfortable to do it. So it benefits the team a lot if you have a goalie that plays the puck well. I think it can solve a lot of situations that.
It's an extra player.
Yeah.
You're an extra breakout guy, an extra defenseman back there. And I remember, when Ben Bishop played here, I say Ben Bishop was probably the best goaltender I played with as playing the puck. He was remarkable. And sometimes I would see him shoot the puck and be like, dude, that might be harder than mine, But, he was able to come in, and I think Vasi even gives him a lot of credit for helping him develop that part of his game. So I'd be interested to see if I know you're working with Franz on a regular basis and Vasi as well, but have they been able to kind of give you some reps and some, advice on playing the puck here?
Yeah, we do it a lot. I mean, not every practice, but most practices we go out and we do our goalie drills, and we finish with puck handles, and we do just simple plays, really. Like he rims a puck down and you turn, you get your eyes up, and you like make a decision where to go. It's more, I think it's not as much the technical stuff to be able to handle the puck. It's more like to feel comfortable back there, to know you have how much time you got, and make a like crisp pass, or like make these
just decisions, right?
Just make a good pass.
Yeah.
Like
you don't need to. You got to read the forecheck.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You don't need to be able to do toe drags or like do all this fancy stuff. Just like go back there and get the job done and do it clean.
Well, maybe by the end of the year, or maybe next year, in the future, we're going to see a Jonas Johansson goal. I want to see
it would be remarkable,
over the top, sailing it by, put all that hard work to.
That would be something, huh?
Is that a goal? Like to someday in your career score a goalie goal?
That would be cool, but I don't think I've ever tried even. So.
Oh, really? Well, maybe we'll see one this season.
We'll get Franz. We'll mix it into the whole practice schedule. It's like full ice, empty netter.
I want you to go back and talk about the loaning, because, again, when you signed that 3-year entry-level contract with the Sabres, I think that was in 2017. Obviously, around that time, COVID kind of threw a wrench into things. But how are you loaned to? There was a German club, right, that you were loaned to?
Oh yeah.
So how does that work? Because I don't think our casual fan understands when you say loan somebody. Like, how do you loan a player? How does that work?
Well, that was just when the season got delayed because of COVID. We didn't know where it was going to start.
Right.
So you work out in the summer and you get your ice, but then like the fall comes and like Swedish teams were getting to play, and I was like, just like working out. Like I got to play somewhere. I got to get some games. Like this is my time to develop too. And I'm not going to get better just being at the gym. I need to play games. So we were trying to find a place to play, and that's exciting. You knew about that. So yeah, we went down to Krefeld, to Germany, and I played. It was like a preseason tournament. I got a few games in. We got some like actual practices with the team, which was good. So it was good preparation for that season.
It was vital. It's pretty amazing, because those are things you don't hear about too often.
No.
Put on loans.
Do you have certain guys, like you have a Swedish goalie that you kind of idolize growing up, or a guy that you model your game after?
I like Jacob Markstrom a lot, and it's funny because now we're buddies and we work out in the summer. And he's only 5 years older than me, but we're from the same town. So as I came up in the junior team in the organization, he played for the pro team. And he was so good that year, and like you try to mimic your game after him. So I want to say ever since those days, like 2010 or something, I've been following him, and I still do. I still look how he plays and try to do what he does so well. So
he's been a guy that's kind of developed his game too, right? When he first came over, there was an adjustment period for him as well.
Yeah, for sure. And it's good now when we're friends and we work out in the summer. Like you can actually talk to him about stuff like that and what it was like going through that. And he hasn't had a super straight path even if he's he's pretty good now, and he's top goalie in the league, starter. So
I feel that goalies do more unique exercises, training practices for hand-eye coordination than other players, right? I mean, we've seen
and stretching too,
and
right?
stretching. What are some of the things that you do to strengthen your hand-eye coordination in your training regimen? Like the ball stuff against the wall, I've seen like those kind of things. Like, I mean, are those like things you do every day?
I do it before games, and not so much in the summer. More like as a part of your warm up for the ice. But in the summer, we have a good little group. We got Markstrom, Sam Ersson, the goalie in Philly, and Sandstrom, the other goalie in Philly. And our coach is actually like the guy who runs our workouts is Johan Holmqvist, and he played here. He played for the Lightning 2 seasons in
Johan, that was
early 2000s.
Yeah, I was to say mid to late 2000s.
Yeah. So he's we got a great group of guys there, and a lot of mobility, a lot of strength, but it's more agile training. I think that benefits you as a goalie. Like we said, do you think I'm going to be a better goalie if I take 30 pounds more in a back squat? I'm not sure. Like if you're in good shape overall, it's you can gain your advantages in other places. You can be more, you're agile. You can be more. What do you say? Like reflexes and your pushes to get more.
Your range of motion,
and your power in your movements can be better. So we do a lot of that stuff, and it's been great for me for the past few summers to increase my game.
Well, there was last year. We interviewed Brian Elliott. And
yes.
His big thing was he would hula hoop before the games. He'd loosen up his hips.
Yes.
You know, and that was the big thing. He had quite the routine what he would use to get ready, and it sounds like you have something similar. Maybe not with a hula hoop, but very similar kind of aspect of prepare the body to make sure that you can be in the positions that you need to be. Because as a player or defenseman, I don't know any other position where you might need to go splits like post to post to cover ground or whatever it is. Well, that's what I'm saying too.
Like, how do you prepare yourself on any given game night, right? I mean, obviously we know you're back up to Vazzy, right? And at any moment in the game, you have to be prepared. You have to be limber. You have to be.
But do you prepare differently as a backup or a starter, or do you try to prepare the same whether you're starting or not?
That's a great question.
You always try to have the same. Like you put on a game mode kind of. So my warm up routine is not entirely the same, but you do. I feel like the bigger thing is not what you do like an hour and a half before the puck drops, is what you do in the morning skate and what you do in the practice the day before. If you do that stuff right and you prepare right and you take care of your body, you can go in and play any minute.
So you're ready to be game mode at any time.
Oh yeah. But it's not that I do exactly the same stuff an hour before puck drop. It's what I do every day on a daily basis to stay ready. That's the bigger thing.
Well, I wanted to ask a little bit about the off season. So you're coming in, you sign with the Lightning. What was it about the Lightning that was attractive in this opportunity for you?
Yeah, I mean this opportunity that I got here was something that I've been working for my whole career. So when this opportunity showed up, there was no question in my mind that we were gonna go for it. So, and it's unbelievable organization, unbelievable city and place to live. So there was no doubt in my mind, and I was so excited right from the start.
Didn't you go back to play to Sweden before you came to Tampa? Didn't you choose to go to play Sweden?
I was at the end of last year.
Yes.
I signed with a team in Sweden because we've been bounced around so a lot, me and my wife, and like you sent down your own waivers. So we just needed all right.
You got a we're not U-Haul card.
We're not 21 anymore, and it's exciting to be on the waivers and stuff. We don't want to all right, let's sell a little bit. Let's have a good life on the side of hockey and play in one city, and that's why we wanted to sign in Sweden too.
Right. So you signed in Sweden, and then you were ready to play that season, and then the Lightning came knocking, and you guys were able to mutually terminate your contract in Sweden, and then you came here. Yeah,
I'm happy that was done so smoothly. I had agents and all the GMs and stuff did such a great job with that. There was no hard feelings, but yeah, when I heard this opportunity was coming, it's what you've been working for since you were a kid. So there was no doubt in my mind that.
So you're looking at the depth chart at goaltending position for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and did you have an idea that you might be able to come in right away and be the opening night starter? I know you couldn't anticipate that Vasi was going to be hurt, but
Sure.
when you're looking at that whole depth chart, are you thinking going into training camp like I want to earn the backup job, or are you just kind of I'll just put my best foot forward and see what happens?
I knew it was a fair good chance that I would gonna be the backup guy, and like I said, like that opportunity to just be in this organization was something I was not gonna throw away. So, but obviously, eventually you want to be a starting goalie. But to coming here and working with Vasi is something that it benefits my game too. Just to be around a guy like that. That's you look YouTube highlight videos on a guy like that.
Yeah.
Now you're with him every day, so it just benefits your game to be a backup to a guy like that.
What are like 3 things that you have learned from Vasi, either watching him or his game that you've developed?
I think at first when we came to training camp, his skating was like real crisp, really hard, really fast. He's so good at that, just moving around in the crease, and I'm pretty good at that myself too. Yeah. I feel like so when we did drills, it's nice to see that I can do the same stuff he does, but the way he does it is so crisp and so clean, and just how he prepares every day too is he plays so many games and it's done for so many years, so that's impressive to see. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff to learn, but yeah.
Have you ever had a Franz Jean moment?
Yeah, no, oh my gosh.
What is that?
Oh my gosh.
Well, I would encourage you to watch the episode where we had Franz Jean on, but in a long
he was a very entertaining guest.
It was a very entertaining guest who told us a very entertaining story. Actually, Vasi tipped off Kobe before he came on the show and said, you need to ask Franz about the time he had an accident in his pants during a game.
In college.
And in college, like
goaltender.
he literally had to relieve himself in his. You can talk to him about
He's a very focused guy, as you know.
Has that ever happened to you? Like where you're like, I'm in the game, but I can't get out. Like I just have to go.
It happened when I was a kid. I remember.
Okay, a kid, not a grown adult.
No, I was a kid. It felt really nice at first, but then after 10 seconds, it's not that nice anymore.
So, Jonas, let's talk about training camp. And you see Vasi, he has the back injury. He's doing the surgery. You get an idea that the net's going to be yours for, the first month and I guess 2 months, really, right? 2 months.
Yeah.
Your perspective, like, are you nervous? Like, what's going through your head as you see Vasi going on the IR and knowing that you're going to be in the net for the Tampa Bay Lightning for good or bad?
Yeah, no, it's just excitement. It's like opportunity doesn't come very often, and what you've been preparing for your whole career, basically. So it's just to keep doing what you're doing, and practice well, do all those stuff, and like have fun with it. You're gonna play a lot. You're gonna play against great players. You're gonna play in a great team.
Play a lot too, right?
Play a lot. So that was the most frequently I played ever in my career, and I felt like the game came easier to you when you play every other night. The timing and the puck tracking and just the intensity before the game. You're like, you go to work kind of instead of just
right. So I want to ask you too, because in that stretch when you were playing, like you were leading the league with shots, shots faced. Are you? And I know some goalies are different, but are you a guy that when you're in a game, you'd rather have a lot of shots? Yeah. Does that get you in the game as opposed to maybe just kind of sitting back there and letting your team do the work? I'm sure the coaches, sure the coaches, would rather see you play in the offensive zone, but for you getting into the game, like seeing lots of shots, that really dials you in?
Yeah, for sure it does. And I think it benefits the team too if you can keep the opponents just to the outside, and like they can shoot as much as they want, but if there's no screen or anything, it just let them shoot.
Sure.
I mean, if we have 35 shots against, but it's shots from the outside with no screen and the D is doing a good job, that's still a good defensive game. So
yeah, what's the other team seeing? This guy's 6'4", 6'5". They're not seeing much net there.
I mean, and again, I'm glad we have such big guys in our net because they keep the pucks out. So let's switch gears a little bit. I noticed the hat with the fish on. What is that? What is that? What are you rocking there?
It's actually I ordered it.
I don't know what
like
it says.
a sport fishing foundation or something in Sweden. It's like to.
Well, we know you're a big outdoorsman. That's why I wanted to talk about the fishing. And
when you were drafted, you said you were fishing. So have you gotten an opportunity to fish in the Tampa Bay area?
Have you gotten out on our waters?
Yeah, not on a boat, but I got a rod and few lures. So I've been I've been like sneaking around the bushes and like trying to catch some stuff. Not
we won't tell anybody.
Oh, you can't do that?
No, you can't. Listen, you're Jonas Johansson. I don't think anybody's going to stop you from doing whatever you want.
I think I can.
Any luck? What are you fishing for? Have you caught anything yet?
I want to catch. What's they called? A snook. I want to catch a snook, but I haven't done it yet. I caught one of these weird ass like it looks like an eel with a long
catfish.
No, not a catfish.
I know what he's talking about. I don't know the
needle
name
nose kind of
yeah,
thing.
kind of that.
Yes.
That I don't know. I didn't want to catch that, but
It's okay.
Needless to say, you didn't bring it home to cook
no,
it up,
I didn't.
But you are a big outdoors guy. Like, have Vazzy, because Vazzy's a big fisherman, so was Kucherov. I mean, you haven't had a chance. Were you at Coop's catch this year?
It hasn't happened yet.
That's coming up. That's right. I don't even know what month we're in anymore. It's all blends together for me. But you definitely need to try to get out on the waters of Tampa Bay because we've got some pretty amazing fishing spots here. So I have to ask, because I was in Sweden with these guys for the Global Series back in 2019 that actually set us off, which led us to a couple Stanley Cups. And in your opinion, what is a bigger attraction in Stockholm, the ABBA Museum or the Vasa Museum?
Well, I haven't been to neither.
I have been to both. Yeah. I don't understand the obsession about the Vasa because, again, it's a ship that failed. Yeah. And so
failed pretty badly,
it failed miserably, and they celebrated.
I disagree. I think it was really cool because it's so well preserved.
Cool. Right, that's the cool part about it.
And I love the history part of it.
But it failed. It was a failure.
Don't bring me to the ABBA Museum.
I was blown away, honestly, going to the both, but I didn't know as far as an attraction, which one you feel is more of an attraction for people that visit Sweden.
I wanna say
Vasa, right?
Yeah, the Vasa. It's the history in European cities are a lot of history, so I think that's something I'm interested in, and like
it's a pretty cool city.
Yeah,
I enjoyed Stockholm very much. All right. Johan, we appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us today, and we always do a segment at the end of the show, powered by our friends at Highlight IPA. It's called Fact or Fiction. So these are literally either true or false statements. There may be a detail or two off. You never know, so that's what we want to see if you pay attention. Just really true or false. So here we go. When Fact or Fiction, Johan Johansson, Jonas, when you're not on the ice, you're a virtuoso at playing the guitar. Are you a good guitar player?
Or what's the
virtuoso? I mean, it just means
virtue or fiction.
You're very fact or fiction.
Fact.
You're good on the guitar. Are you better than Mitchell Chaffee?
I didn't know he played even.
Well, he said he left his guitar in Syracuse, but
he's got 1 year under his belt.
He's got 1 year. He wants to be a country music star in his future.
I play mostly for myself, but
are you good?
I'm all right.
Okay. You play
what kind of music
stuff? Yeah. What kind of music are you into?
Anything. A lot of Swedish stuff, but it's like kind of country, I guess.
Okay.
I play a lot of like that folk indie music, Mumford and Sons, Lumineers.
Okay.
That type, like acoustic stuff. I like that. Yeah.
Play free.
Terrible singer though. I wish I could sing. That's a dream of mine, but it's gonna be hard to learn.
I feel like we got power skating coaches, goalie coaches, skills coaches. Maybe like the team needs a music teacher, right?
Why not? I mean, it can increase your game. Maybe
Hey, John Cooper, you listening? Here we go.
Some psychology stuff here, Coop. All right, fact or fiction, Jonas. You have never defeated your wife in a single game of tennis, not a match, but a single game of tennis.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
Wife's pro, right? She played pro in Sweden.
Yeah. She would beat me with her left arm, like easily. And my game is increased since I met her.
Right.
We play once in a while, but there's no chance. Like when you see the guys that can really play tennis.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's impressive to see, just to be by the sideline and see how fast it actually goes.
So what route is your daughter going to go? Is she going to be a little hockey star / goalie, or is she going tennis?
I don't know. I never seen the tennis world with kids coming up, so I would be 100% supportive of that. That would be really cool. So
pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
All right, Jonas, your middle name is the same as a character from Disney's Frozen.
Well, it's fiction because it's one letter off.
That's right.
Right.
Olav as opposed to Olaf.
Yeah.
From
Okay,
Disney.
Yeah.
there you go.
That is
Big Disney
he's,
guy.
He's big. Oh well, I have kids too. All right, fact or fiction? As a youth, you have won bronze, silver, and gold medals, tournament medals.
That's fact.
That
I
is
think.
fact. Do
Yeah.
you remember the years and the?
Well, it was my under 18 year in Sweden. We won the gold.
Yep.
Silver was World Jays in
Yep.
Malmö.
Yep.
And bronze was under 20 in Sweden, I think.
And under 16 too, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Two.
There you go.
that's right.
I'm on the facts here
You
today.
got it.
Yeah.
All right, I
So
got
there
one
we
here.
go. You got one more?
Yeah, I got one more. You're the second Jonas Johansson to play in the NHL.
Well, I know that's a fact.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
that's crazy.
2002, 28th overall to the Washington Capitals.
Okay.
Jonas Johansson, he played one NHL game.
One.
One NHL game.
And what happened? Sent down to the majors, never to be heard from
He's,
again, to be
he's-
reincarnated.
He's playing on loan in Sweden.
That's awesome, man. Well, there you go. You did crush that one. Congratulations. But listen, we wish you nothing but success. And, we know it's been a crazy journey to get to this point, but just stay on the path. And we're excited to have you a part of the organization. Congrats as a new dad as well.
you.
And keep getting sleep because, we're going to need you at any given moment. You can be on the ice. So thank you again to our friends at Cigar City Highlight IPA for powering another episode of the Bolts Block Party. Jonas Johansson here with Wolfie and Kobe, and we will see you guys again next week. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.